So I'm here with Dave Incognito from the legendary band Incognito Theory, but he also does the vocals for uh, Dying Eyes of Sloth and also Demon Christ. That's right, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
awesome. Okay, so Dave, so a lot's been happening, hasn't it, for the last few years? So do you want to give me an update on what's been going on? Should we start with maybe Incognito Theory first and then work our way?
Sure, sure. Well, as you know,
Mhm.
Incognito Theory finally released the record Days of Reckoning with Curtain Call Records, and things have been
Yeah,
going really great working with Monk C. Ritchie and everybody over at Curtain Call.
cool.
Um, it's been going really well. Numbers have been good. We're no complaints. Everybody's happy with everything. We're
Cool.
currently in the studio now working on the second installment called Lights Out, which I'll
Nice.
be bringing back Mike LaPont from Symphony X and Dead
Mhm,
Risen on bass, my mentor, of course.
mhm,
Me and my cousin John Moscow, vocalist of 60 Miles Down, drummer and backing vocalist of Incognito Theory, on
mhm.
drums. Me and him have pretty much wrote this whole new record. Dave Crum wrote Lights Out, the title track for the new record, so we're really stoked about that. Um, JP is back on guitar, so
Yeah.
that's going to be really, really cool. So pretty much everybody who was on Days of Reckoning
Mhm,
are pretty much going to be doing this record. It's going to be really cool. Things have been going really good. Going to have a lot of twists and turns with this record. A
mhm.
little bit different. I know we had a southern thing going with Days of Reckoning, but me and John and the guys talked about getting a little more nostalgic.
Okay.
Maybe bringing in some '90s, like almost like Alice in Chains and stuff like that. So this is going to be
Oh,
really, really cool.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm real. They've been coming together great. The song's been coming together great. The
Mm.
first single that is going to come out for Incognito Theory, which Curtain Call hasn't given me a date yet, is going to be
Mhm.
called "Let the Fire Burn,"
Oh,
and that's
nice.
going to have special guest vocalist Chrissy Inc. Everybody knows Chrissy Inc., my wife
Oh,
to be.
amazing. Oh, that's so cool.
So,
Yeah.
Christine is going to be doing some backing vocals on that, so it's going to be really, really cool.
Oh,
She's in the middle
amazing.
of finishing up her record right now, so of
Mhm.
course, with us preparing for our wedding, so that's been pretty crazy. We'll
Yeah,
get into that later. But
yeah.
right now, between all that crazy noise,
Mm,
I've been preparing for the return of Sloth.
mhm,
Dying Eyes of Sloth has their first reunion show on June 28th at Debonair Hall for
mhm,
TJJD's Metallic Cave Metal
mhm,
Fest 10. So this is
mhm,
the 10-year reunion of Book of Blood.
mhm.
There will be very special limited copy run of Book of Blood at the show, and of course, brand new T-shirt design and stuff like that. Jay's actually in the middle of working on that, and we're
Cool.
really excited about this show. We've been really hard at work because Michael Pont of Symphony X and Dead Risen is playing bass live with us that night. Who would have thought
Amazing.
Mike would play death metal, right? And
Yeah, no,
Joe Diacqui of Pierced. I don't know if you heard of the band Pierced from South Jersey.
right.
Joe Diacqui is coming in and he's doing drums for that. So it's going to be really, really cool. It's going to be, rehearsals have been going really well, so no complaints there.
Mhm.
And then I've been working on with Jay. We're finally working on a full length record for Dying Eyes of Sloth called Organized Apocalypse. So
Oh,
that's
cool.
coming together. We're gonna freelance a couple of new tracks
Mhm.
uh, from Sloth that night. We have a couple really cool new ones: Severed Skin, Beyond the Grave.
Mm.
Um, so that's gonna. And Jay just actually wrote a brand new one called. I think he's calling it "Rotted Remains."
Oh, wow.
So
That's
that's gonna be
metal,
really cool. Yeah, it's old
isn't it?
school. It's old school stuff. Like if
It's
people are
it's
into like
great.
Coroner and Six Feet Under and stuff like that, Cannibal Corpse,
Yeah.
Morbid Angel, they'll get really into this. And then of
Yeah, yeah,
course
yeah.
I'm doing my Demon Christ solo
Yeah,
stuff, which
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
coming together really cool.
Mm.
A putrid remain, a putrid. Excuse me. Too much stuff. I'm sitting here looking at paperwork while I'm talking to you because I'm like, you know
Oh,
what, you know,
that's okay.
but a putrid awakening
Mhm.
is doing really well. I actually put a cake cut together, and it's not finished, just a demo. I still got to put some blackened vocals behind it and stuff, but it's been going really well. People have been digging it on Instagram, so if they want to find
Mm,
out, go to Demon Christ Official on Instagram. That's going to be really cool. But I'm going to put an EP out. I'm going to put
okay.
5 or 6 songs out. I'm almost done with the sixth one now,
Mm,
and the EP is going to be called "Thorns of Sadistic Intent." So it's
that
going to be
sounds
really cool.
such
Yeah,
a badass name. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really got to thank Christina for this because Christina was like, "Babe, you got to get back into doing the extreme metal stuff." She
Yeah.
really loved what I was doing there, and I mean, she's stoked about the new Incognito Theory record, of course. But
Mm,
I'm like, you know what? It's time for me to go back to my roots.
yeah.
Um, Jay wanted to do this reunion, and we've been talking about it for years. And we sat down with DJ JD, and we're like, you know what? It's time for the New Jersey Debt Stomp to come back
Yeah.
and give
Definitely.
everybody a show. And we were like, oh my God, who? Let's try to get the original members. And they were so busy to
Yeah.
come in and do anything. So I
Hmm.
was like, you know what? I'm just going to call some friends up, and I contacted Joe, and Joe was like, yeah, man, I'll do it. And but the surprise for me, which was really cool, was that when I said, "Hey, Mike, how you doing, man? You want to come and play? Want to play some death metal?" And he's like, "Yeah, why not?" And he showed up at rehearsal, and now the guys are in the middle of working on the set list, and things are coming together. It's going to be a great show. We're probably going to do a couple live videos,
Mm.
but other than that, everything has been good. I can't complain. I'm really stoked about how everything's going with that, but the main focus at the moment is finalizing everything for this wedding. 143 days until me and Chrissy get married, so
Oh, that's
it's been
such
rough.
great news. Wow. That's beautiful. That's like when I heard you were getting married, I was so happy because you both are so amazing together, and I love that you're both musicians as well. So, it's kind of really cool that you're working together. I love the support that you both have for each other. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's this. I mean, I didn't expect this at all.
Mm,
I mean,
mm,
I was wow. Okay, finally, I have somebody who understands, and
mm.
we have our ups and downs. Me and her, like every other couple. But I mean, like we always together we said me and you
Mm,
against the world, and on the good days everything's good, but on the badder days they're still good days because you just get a little bit, you got to stick around a little bit closer. A lot of relationships these days, a lot of people aren't doing that. You know what I mean? They're,
yeah.
something goes wrong, they want to run, but you know what?
Mm.
Chrissy is my rock.
Oh,
She's amazing,
yeah.
and she's gone through a lot with me, and I'm
Oh,
man enough to have everybody know that. And she's
oh.
been through a lot. I'm 1 year sober of alcohol,
Well
so
done, Dave. That's so cool. That's really,
yep.
really
And
badass.
I owe all of that to Christina. I really do.
That's so cool.
You know,
Yeah. So, because I think I remember like you were sort of heading that way anyway. Because I remember you started saying, you know what, I want to do a little bit of fitness, and you were doing that walking. I think you said, wasn't it? And you were getting really into that, and I was like, oh wow, Dave, that's badass, and like, and
yeah,
obviously, now you're doing the whole 1 year sober thing. You've come leaps and bounds. That's so cool.
yeah. I had to. I had to. I mean, like with going to the doctor and everything. But I mean,
Mm,
and then I met Christina. And
mm,
then, I was like, you know what? I'm finally, not feeling shitty. And,
mm,
even though I was slowly doing it on my own, but, to have her as my partner and, soon to
mm.
be my wife, I was like, you know, I'll do
Yeah,
anything for her. So now I'm at that point, and I've lost a boatload of weight. I mean, I was 408 pounds, as you know. I mean, when we were working together with IT, I was 408 pounds. I'm down to 203 pounds now,
that's
and I
amazing.
also owe that to her too because she's
Wow.
very big into fitness. She's very big into weed, organic, and stuff like that. So it's been really cool. I mean, like I can't complain about anything. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah, yeah. Oh, it sounds like, it's been a really great journey for you to come to this point as well. Even musically, it feels as if like, you're opening doors to new things, or even going back to your roots and trying new things. And it seems like you're very sort of open to opportunity and being creative and using all your skill sets, I guess.
what I want to do now is I've been talking to Christina about this, and me and Jay have been talking about it too. I think I'm going to put a shirt store together to help
Oh yeah.
local musicians and stuff like that. So I'm in the middle of,
Great idea.
you know,
That's so cool.
a whole bunch of stuff, you know.
Mm,
So I mean,
yeah.
like, you know, I'm going to be 47 in September, so it's like, you know, now I'm like, you know what, it's time to, you know, but this is the main focus. My number one priority. I love my music and everything, but my number
Mm.
one priority is her. So
Oh.
whatever she needs and wants, I'm here for her. And you know,
Mm.
big difference when you finally get involved with somebody that you can have something and you guys can walk the ladder
Yeah,
together and you're building
exactly.
a,
Yeah. It's so
building
important
together.
to have that. Yeah, yeah. It's so important to have like a support network, to have people around you, and have your partner as well, like as you both have got, to support and lift. And it's so important. And I'm so great that that has been found for you as well, and it's amazing.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
I love to see your posts, online and see, and it just
Yeah, they're a
like,
little mushy, I
oh
know.
my God, no, but it's like, it's like, what it is that I think so many people lose sight of the most important things, which for me is love, it is caring about your friends, your family, your partner if you
Yeah,
have one. And
yeah.
it's beautiful to see that online because it spreads so much positivity. And it's a beautiful thing, it's beautiful
She
to see
works
that.
very hard, this young lady. She works very,
Yeah.
very hard. And
Hmm.
that's why, I tell her, I appreciate you and I
Mm,
love you more and more each day passes. And I do truly appreciate her because she
yeah,
does a lot. And,
yeah,
she deals with what she deals with, and,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, and, she's got her own life where she's working on her record and, the
yeah.
Me Too movement and all this stuff. And it's just like,
Mm,
you know, but I always, you always got to find. What I try to do for her is create a, you know, safe space for her for when she comes home, she can relax. She's
yeah,
chilling. I make sure dinner is done for her, and
yeah.
all that stuff. And then, you know,
That's
we have a rapport now. I mean, that
yeah, yeah.
the other day I actually told her. I said, I go, she said something to me, and I said, I go, babe, you kind of sound like my mom. I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but in layman's language, it is a good thing,
Of
and
course it is.
her and her future mother-in-law are very close. Her and
That's
her future
good.
father-in-law are very close. My dad, so
Mhm.
like, which he's
Mm.
doing really well too. They're both, they're getting up there. My mom just celebrated her 78th birthday. So
Wow.
yeah, I'm
Birthdays to
like,
your
holy
mum.
crap, man! My mother's 78. My father's 75. So it's
Yeah,
like, and in November they were married 50 years, and they're still
amazing.
kicking. I don't know how they did it. I tell them all the time, like, Pop, I don't know how you and my mother did it. I thought she would have strangled you already. you know?
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
that's beautiful. It's so great though to see that there's because in the music business you sometimes find that they don't really show relationships that much, do they? People that are kind of like in the limelight, and it's really nice to see musicians that really advocate for like good solid relationships, and and showing like what a healthy relationship looks
yep.
like, and being also honest, and that's really key as well, because you both are very honest. You say, we have good days and bad days, and that's a real relationship, and it's whether you get through those hurdles. So, well done, like hats off to you
Same
both.
thing with like touring and stuff like that. Like, I
Mm,
mean, I'm gonna do of course, we're gonna do a little bit of touring with the IT stuff, a little bit of
mm,
touring with Sloth, a little bit of touring, hopefully with Demon Christ. We'll see what happens.
mm,
But you know, I I told her, I said, I go going on tour, doing a little bit of a tour. I said, if you can come with me, that'll be great. But I
mm,
told her, babe, wedding band will always be on. I
mm.
have, I could care less.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know,
Yeah. This is it. This is it. Is when you love someone, like all that stuff doesn't really mean anything, but it's just about the music, isn't it? It's making sure that you're providing a good show, and then you
hmm
get then you go home and tell your wife about it all and how much fun
Oh
that you
yeah,
have
yeah, of course, of
doing on
course.
stage and
I mean,
stuff.
like, but you know how the industry is. You've been doing this a long time, Karina. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like, we're all trying. I mean, like, look, I mean, Mind Lapse is still doing their thing, and
yeah,
you
yeah.
got your Ragebreed productions going and everything like that
Mm,
for the
mm-hmm.
promotions and trying to help locals and everything. And I think that that's fantastic. And of course,
Thank
you advocate for a lot of things to help people, women's movement and all that, which I think is pretty
you.
amazing and everything. So it's
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Mm,
But I mean, like, these are the little small things that, like, matter and are very important. And
mm.
I mean, like, me and her now, it's like, we've talked about having a baby next year, so it's like, you know, and that's
Amazing.
important. You know what I mean? It's like, those are the most important things,
Mm,
for me. I mean, like, when I was single, it was always like, oh, dude, I gotta get out there. Let's play. Now, I mean, I
yeah.
still want to play, and I
Mm,
still want to, do what I do. I mean, I'm always going to be a musician. I love what I do, but
mm,
there was a lot of things that were clouding, and I'm being very transparent with you, because that's why I wanted to do this interview. You know,
yeah.
when I started Incognito Theory, it started out as fun and everything, and this was like prior to having my cousin John involved and stuff like that. But I
Mm,
was, really in like a very dark place, and
mm-hmm.
I was drinking heavily and stuff like that. And I wasn't, I didn't have a girlfriend. I didn't have, I mean, I was seeing somebody, but I mean, like, things just, you you start out like, oh, it would be nice to have at least a companion to just talk to and stuff like that. But
Mm,
when you dive into things and you really sit back, and it's like, and I realized, I was like, look, I love what I do in music, but it would be really nice to meet someone
mm,
that accepts you for who you are and is willing to
mm,
understand and take the time to understand. The
mm,
most important thing about love, true love, is
mm,
when you can look past certain things. You know what I
mm,
mean? That's how I look at it. Like, you can sit back and be like, and when things get really tough and really hard, usually
mm,
that's when people are like, oh, I can't handle it, time to go. No, that's not how when it gets tough, that's you when
mm.
you're showing, and with her, it's just been, it's been an adventure. She would tell you the
Yes,
same thing. It's
yeah.
definitely been an adventure, but I mean, we're finally now we're like falling into our own and everything, and she's really excited about it. I mean, she's going to be running the merchandise at the Sloth show for me, so that's going to be
Oh,
really cool.
thank
Yeah,
you.
she's doing it with Jeremy.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. Oh, that's
Yeah,
so cool.
Jeremy will be there, and our friend Danielle's going to be there, so that's going to be really cool. So, and she's
Mm,
never seen me perform doing the Dionysus Sloth stuff.
right, okay,
She's only
yeah.
seen videos, like, stuff on YouTube and stuff, but she's never seen me do the Sloth thing, and and the Demon Christ stuff.
Mm,
She's usually doing her thing when I'm doing all the recordings for that. So, but she gets to sit back and listen to them, and she's just like, "Wow, where did that come from?" I'm so used to hearing you sing, and now you're all like, and I'm like, "What the?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, it's where I came from." But I mean, like, life throws you a couple curveballs, but you manage to get through. You know,
mm, mhm.
I mean, and
Absolutely.
that goes for everybody. Look at our buddy Johnny Chadwick
Yeah,
from Rough and
yeah.
Rude. I mean, things are going great for him. Those guys are getting ready to do this big show and help
Mm,
all these kids and stuff.
yeah, yeah.
So, I'm stoked
Absolutely.
about that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Which reminds me, I'm actually going to be promoting that as well. So
Oh,
I've
nice, nice.
got to get my ass on that.
Yeah, right.
Remind me.
Are we gonna? I mean, look, I know this is my interview, but hey, look, we're friends, just having a combo. What's going on with Mind Lapse? Are you gonna be?
Oh,
Are you?
well, yeah, so I'm currently basically I've pretty much got all the songs written. I'll be honest, I've got pretty much everything. I just need to add solos and things like that. So I'm not a soloist. I'm a guitarist. I can write riffs, but I don't have the technique to do solos. So at the moment, I'm kind of speaking to a few people to potentially do the solos. I'm going to try and record rough tracks so they can solo over it, if that makes sense. And then we should have a single out this year called Rage of
Oh,
Masses.
nice. Nice.
Yeah, so
Nice.
looking forward to that. But yeah, no, it's all going well. I've got the material there. I've been working really hard
Mm-hmm.
on getting that together. So that album is pretty much done. It just needs, like I say, solos and guitarists to,
Oh,
so I've
nice.
got to try and get some people in to record it, and then done, pretty much.
Yeah, Chrissy's almost done with her stuff. She's got a couple more things she's got to. As you know, Dave Crum wrote some stuff for her, and my cousin John wrote some stuff for her too. So she's just trying to juggle right now. But her
Mm.
stuff will be done probably August, September.
Yeah.
That was her goal. But she's going to be releasing a new song really soon. So I'm really stoked that, what she's doing with that. And then
That's
I'm I'm hoping I'm
mm.
hoping to have the first single for Demon Christ to come out next month. It
Oh,
was supposed to come out in May, but then I changed the song. I mean, it was supposed to be "I'm the Destroyer," but then you know what? Something told me I was like, you know what? Let me just sit here, and I sat back, and I'm like, wow, I had a couple of tunes, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know yet. I don't know what it's going to be. But then all of a sudden, I was like, let me make a couple of cake cuts and just start letting people get a taste and just tell them, hey, they're demos, they're not done yet. I still got to do a little bit of extra work on it. Because I want to two-tone the vocals and do some crazy,
yeah.
just a recording thing. And if I can get some musicians to do it, which I've already asked Mike and I've already asked Joe and
Mhm.
Jay, and they were like, yeah, man, we'll whatever. We
Mm.
might if pretty much one of them, Braced for the Nails, is
Mhm.
actually going to be played at uh, Metal Fest 10 for the
Cool.
Dying Eyes of Sloth show. I asked Jay and the guys, I was like, hey, can we add this track in? And they really like the track. So we're going to be doing Braced for the Nails. So I'm going to try to get a lot live footage of that to see how that
Yeah, yeah,
turns
definitely.
out for everybody. I think it's going to be really cool. Jay wanted to
Yeah.
kill me because I'm like, hey, Jay, what I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to have you do some of the low guttural stuff while I'm doing some of the high
Doing the
black
high
metal
stuff.
stuff,
Oh, I love
so I
that.
can create that,
Yeah.
and he's like, you son of a bitch, man,
Mm.
but we
Yeah.
manage, we manage.
Because I
Mhm.
remember when I went to see that this is when the Rotted were called Gore Rotted, and I
Mm.
saw them about 2 or 3 times, and oh my god, I remember when they were playing with Decapitated, and they did that high end and the low end together, and I was like, oh my god, this is so fucking brutal. It was so
No, it
good.
sounds really cool when
Yeah,
like you're doing it, and if you can get and Jay's got a really good guttural. I mean, Jay is a very low
yeah,
spoken
yeah.
gentleman, so Jay's got a really good guttural vocal.
Mm-hmm.
He really does. So I was like, hey man, you'll do this, but he's been really busy himself, because he's in the middle of finishing the stuff for the t-shirts for Dionysus Law show. I mean, the show is in a couple of weeks, and he
Mm-hmm.
just finished up everything for the special edition Book of Blood CDs.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably going to be some live audio stuff on it, and he's doing something really cool. There's only very limited run, for just for that specific show. So we were like, okay, so I let him do his thing there, and I just been doing this, and then of course I don't know if I said it. I mean, me and Mark have a thing going too, right? Me and Mark are working
Yeah,
on this thing called Devil Row, and we were just
yeah,
like, Mark's been wanting to do something, play because he's a really good rhythm guitar player.
yeah.
So I was like, hey, let's do. I mean, like that's where I'm at now,
Mm.
recordings, and if I could play a gig, I'll play a gig.
Yeah.
People will see Incognito Theory with Mike and John and everybody. Like me and John have been talking about a couple of shows. We got a couple of things up our sleeve. If all goes well,
Mm.
hopefully by the end of the summer or the beginning of the fall, everybody will get Incognito Theory, 60 Miles Down, Dave Crum, and featuring special guest performance of Chrissy Inc., which
Amazing.
that's what we're talking about right now to try to,
It'd be so good.
wouldn't that be really
I
cool? So
love this. This is so much fun. Just like knowing that this is going to happen. This is great.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we've been talking about, so we've been throwing things around, and then I looked at Jay and I was like, hey Jay, we should really spice it up, man. Just like do like one like real like Sloth song. I get up there
Yeah.
singing, and then and people are gonna be like, what the heck did we just watch? I mean, come on, look at. You want to know something? I just got done finally. I don't know if you watched it yet.
What's that song?
but Machine Gun Kelly put out Cliche.
Hmm.
Did you hear that song yet? I know
Which
you're
one?
not into like the commercial, but he
Mm.
was a rapper and now he's got this pop rock kind of thing going.
Okay,
I
yeah.
give him credit. I think he's truly showing himself that he's an artist, you
Yeah.
know? I mean, I'm not a big fan, but since I'm a musician, I watch everybody and anybody. And if somebody is deserving,
Hmm.
you know, and
Yeah.
they're good. You can't, it doesn't matter. I'm a huge Frank Sinatra fan, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I listen to all kinds of music, Dave. I mean, like, I'm very eclectic.
yeah,
I mean,
come
I can
on.
listen to someone like Florence and the Machine, you know,
Mhm. Oh, they're a
Lady
good band. I like them.
Yeah, they're very
Hmm.
good at it. London Grammar, I like bands like that. But then, you know, you've got this is the thing with me. I love Frank Sinatra. You know, "Fly Me to the
Hmm.
Moon." That's a great song.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
my song is The Way You Look Tonight. And on
Oh.
Christmas Eve, me and Christina were home, and I was like, we got done eating dinner, and I went over to her and I said, "Hey, babe," and I grabbed her and I brought her in the middle of the living room, and I
Mm.
started dancing with her to it, and she's like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Oh.
I said, "I go, what?" I said, "Merry Christmas,
Mm.
babe. This Christmas has been extra special because I have you."
Oh.
So it's like cool, but come on, you're talking to a guy that loves extreme metal, loves
Mhm.
rock music, and I'm a
Yeah.
huge Matchbox 20 fan.
Yeah.
No shame.
That's the thing is, own what you like. I've always said this to people. Like, you know, if you like something, you like it. If you don't like something, you don't like it. Don't apologize because at the end of the
Mhm.
day, your tastes are very, very relative to your own, you know,
What's that
your own.
thing that Demi Lovato says? Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, it's a great thing that, you know, you can listen to such diverse music. I mean, like I say, I can listen to the heaviest of stuff. I mean, I listened to a lot of Carcass and a lot of Jungle Rot and you
Oh, I
know,
love
Morbid.
Jungle Rot. We actually
Oh,
played with them.
so
Sloth
cool.
played with Jungle Rot. We played with
No,
Jungle Rot.
really amazing.
We
That
played
that
with them. The last couple of shows we played, we did it. We played Starland Ballroom with Cannibal Corpse, and we
amazing.
played with Suicide Silence. And that was
Cool.
right after Mitch Lucker passed.
Oh, really?
Remember when
Wow.
they got this the singer? I forgot what All Shall Perish is singing
Yeah.
with them now.
Okay.
We
Yeah. Yeah.
played. We Yeah, that was after Mitch, the original singer of Suicide Silence, passed away. God rest his soul. So
Oh.
yeah. So
Mm,
we got to do that Cannibal Corpse show at Starland, which was really cool. And then like who else did we
yeah.
play? We played with Mortician, the legendary Mortician, Will
Yeah.
Ramos band. They're
Wonderful.
amazing. Yeah,
Mm,
Will's a great guy too. Will is a really really good guy. You know.
mm.
And I know
Yeah.
you're very heavily into black metal, so I don't know if you checked them out yet. I'm just going to give a plug if you don't mind, because he's a
Yeah,
really good
go
friend of
for
mine.
it, go for it, any crack.
Kyle Powell has a band called Engorged. They're
Oh,
called
yeah,
Engorged, excuse me, and they're
yeah,
really awesome. So
yeah,
I know you're into like really sick black metal. I think you'll really like them.
yeah.
They're like death black. He says that they're the death black thrash machine. So that's the best way I'm going to
Mm.
describe them. Kyle, if
Yeah,
you get to watch this
sounds
video, I
amazing.
thought I'd give you a plug, my brother. You know me, I love to plug all my friends, and it's not all
Yeah,
about me, it's about everybody.
it's
We're all
about
trying to work
everybody.
together, you know?
100%, 100%. That's exactly how we function, isn't it? It's like, and that's so cool. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, it's like, yeah, I love my black metal. I love my brutal old school death metal. But you know, but I really love Alice in Chains as well. So I do love my
Mhm,
stoner rock. Recently, also, you know, we put on Gravity
mhm.
Chainsaw as well. So I will be
Look
plugging
at our
actually.
look at
Uh,
our friend what's his name? Zach Moonshine.
yeah, yeah,
They're doing really well with with the Texas Tennessee what is that? Tennessee
uh,
Death
uh,
Blast?
yeah. Is it the
It's a
festivals?
yeah, he's doing really well with all that. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
he's working with my friend Paul from Deteriorate. Deteriorate is back. Legendary Deteriorate with huge
yeah.
Deteriorate. And Paul's got Faithless Entertainment working with
Yeah.
them now. So that was like really, really cool. And I was like, oh wow, everybody's starting to everybody start trying to get out there and work together, and that's what we need to be doing because, like, not nobody's doing that anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, I love the fact that, like, I don't know, I just feel like with some, I think it depends on the affiliates as well. Like for us, certainly, like we always try to bring affiliates together, and that's what we're trying to do with the magazine and get their own
Mhm.
shows on there, and even with our radio as well. Like we try and work with sort of other radio stations, and they're sort of like bringing their shows to us. So it's wonderful. It's just like that's what I believe. I believe people should like work together, rise together, and then just
Yes.
enjoy that community feeling. No
Well, I thank
crippiness.
you very, very much for playing Dying Eyes of Sloth. You know, the couple of tunes you've been playing. I'm going to send you the demo of A Putrid Awakening from Demon Christ. Like I said,
Yeah.
the backing vocals are not on it, but it's still a good enough demo that can
Mm,
you know, maybe just to see if people can wrap their head around it. I mean, like I said, the Cape Cut, everybody's been really cool with it and everything. So, you know,
mm,
that's what I love about stuff like Cape Cut and everything. You can do these little samples and kind of give everybody a taste just to see. And if you know if they don't like it, then you get to go back to it and be like, okay, what do I need to fix on it to make it better?
yeah,
That's why
yeah,
I
yeah.
usually try to get everybody to give me comments so they can tell me what they like, what they don't like.
Oh, okay, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I
That's
just
that's
started learning how to stack
yeah, yeah, yeah,
vocals. I never really did that, but for this stuff, I like to stack. So it's like, so say if I
mm,
do a low vocal and I want to put a little bit of a lower vocal, or I want to kind of maybe throw a little bit of the black or a pig squeal, I can.
mhm,
The stack has been really cool. You know, and that's
mm,
the best thing about recordings nowadays. You know, everything's so digital with everything. I mean, I know we got the future of AI is here now, which is a little you know what I mean. But look, everybody's even using that stuff too
yeah, yeah,
for artwork and stuff like that. You know, they're getting all their ideas and then they send it to somebody and they work with it. I mean, I know, but at least everybody has, that they're getting
yeah.
that help.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, I was just saying that, I did this like just to see what it would do with a Ragebreed promo video. I was just curious and it was really funny. And I was laughing because I was like, how did it manage to get all those details? Like, it's amazing. Like, I'm not using it because it was a little bit, a bit cheesy, really. But I mean, the fact that you can do that though, like, say if someone's got no experience with videos and has never done a music video or doesn't have editing skills or
Mhm.
graphic design, it's really good for people like that who probably just want, oh, how do I do a logo? Or, I mean, they can use it, and
Remember you did our lyric video for what was it? The one video. I
yeah,
forgot what it
yeah.
was. You know what I'm talking about? The
Oh,
one
I
with the
know
bike
what you
show and
mean.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah, oh,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you did a
you
great
know,
job on it. It came
yeah,
out really good. I mean, even the guys were like, "Oh, this is really cool." You had
yeah.
the down Vegas and everything like that. It was,
Oh,
it was,
yeah, yeah, I love doing that. That was so much fun. I actually
yeah,
enjoyed
yeah.
listening to your tune while I was doing that as well. I'd be like, "This needs to go here. This needs to go." Like, it
Right?
was so funny. I was just really enjoying that. I really enjoyed doing
Yeah,
that.
really, yeah. It's fun. I mean, like, and that's where it's at. If you're not having fun doing this, then
Mm.
simply doing it. If you're doing it for money, you're not gonna, you're definitely not gonna make $1 million nowadays.
Oh, no, no, no. I mean, at the end of the day, it's an enjoyable experience as well for me. So, and yeah, it's all good,
Look at
but I
Nuno
think,
Bannicourt. Look at Nuno Bannicourt. Nuno Bannicourt said he does from Extreme. He said he does music now. You got to love what you're doing. When I watched his podcast, I was like,
mm,
wow. You
mm.
know. So they're
Oh,
all they're all everybody's doing
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, your passion's got to drive you. It's got to. I mean, I remember I was talking to Tony from Venom Inc. and I remember I was on the bus and that this is when they were playing a show in with Vader in London, and we were talking about this, how the passion should drive you, and and anything else is a plus, and if you do become successful at it, fine, but the reality is that you've got to have your heart there, your heart's got to be into it, and that's why I do what I do as well, and I'm sure that's the same for you. Your heart's in it,
Yeah.
you want to really, um it's almost like when I don't know if it's the same for you, but when you get riffs in your head or you get like a tune in your head, and that is the most, I think, for me, is a very important thing because it's a natural talent or gift or whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah.
and it's such a beautiful thing, you know, to be able to share that with the world. And like with you, I mean, I remember when you first showed me your stuff, you know, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like, I was really digging it. And you know, and that's the beauty of music, isn't it? Because you really, the people that work hard to make this happen, and you know, you guys go in the studio, you make a great record or whatever, and then when it vibes with someone else, like that's the best feeling in the whole world, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
you know, somebody else appreciates what you do, they're vibing with it and they enjoy it, and it's, you know, it's incredible.
I look at music so differently now, though. Like when I was a teenager, I was a
Mm,
purist. You know what a
mm.
purist is. I was like, if it's not heavier,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I
Like,
went through that phase as well.
you
I
know,
think
but
everyone
I
does
mean,
it.
like, you know, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, and now it's not like that. It's like, look, you know what? Yeah. Can I scream? Yeah. I came from doing extreme metal. That was my
Mm,
roots. But now I can sing. So now I scream. I can sing. I just
mm,
started learning since I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, I started learning how to do the pig squeals and stuff.
mm.
Like it's just something to do like a hobby. You know what I mean? Like, to try to open up. And if something cool comes out of it, awesome. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's where I'm at. That's truly
yeah,
where I'm at. And I'm really excited for the new Incognito Theory record. I'm very excited to release it, but it's going to take some time because, we're working out some kinks. But I mean, like when we went in for Lights Out, me and
mm,
John were like, you know what? Let's do something more nostalgic.
yeah.
Let's go dive into what we liked when we were younger. So, you know, John is a big Alice in Chains fan. I was very big into Alice in Chains, very big into Stone Temple Pilots,
Mm.
Soundgarden, Pearl Jam. But I was
Oh yeah.
also into like the poppier alternative side stuff. Like,
Mm.
you remember Toad the Wet Sprocket and stuff like that? Do you remember them? Like I was into all that stuff too.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
we're mixing it up. So we're like, let's see what this record. We're not sitting back and going, oh, the record's got to sound like this. We're just
Mm,
writing in the moment and we're putting stuff together and
mm.
and hopefully everything, but this Let the Fire Burn, the single track is going to be really cool. And I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be more fun for me because, I got my fiance, she's got an amazing voice. And I think it's going to be really cool to kind of, because me and John does all the back and vocals. So it's going to be really cool because Christina's got a little bit more of a, her range is a little different. So it's going to be really cool to have that edge, you know.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I think that's gonna sound badass, to be
Yeah.
fair. She's got
I
a great
want her to start screaming. I told her, I said, babe, we got to start teaching, getting you to learn to scream. Come on, babe, you can do it. She does know how to do it, but I'm like, you know what? You really should, do that. Why not? Be like Maria Brinks or something like that. That could be really
yeah,
cool, dude. You
yeah.
know?
Get in the
So
studio.
she tells
She's
me I'm not. Yeah, she told me
thing
I'm
is,
not.
when I
She's
first
like, "Well, you
started,
stop." Mhm.
but when I first started, I remember I was so, because the only reason why I started, I didn't know women could do this, and I heard "Kiss or Kill" by Tari B from Chira Satana, and that was the first time I'd heard a woman do the screaming thing, and I was like, oh my god! And I remember my cousin in Sheffield, she said, "Karina, check this out," like, and I was like, oh. I said, no. She was like, yes. And I was like, oh, I was like, women can do that. She was like, yeah. She goes, why don't you try it? I was like, I was just saying that I started off with just screaming and it sounded like a burp the first time. But then afterwards, I started doing, like one phrase comments, like going, and doing the, death metal screaming. And then I was able to do sentences. And then it went from sentences to like full verses. And that's how, so even if she can't do it at first, tell her to keep trying because you can get
Oh
there.
no, she's been. I I say this, and I'm being realistic about this. She
Mm,
really honed her craft. Like
mm,
she works very hard on her vocals. She tries to
mhm,
keep healthy, and
mhm.
I'm really proud of her. Like, she's really doing
Yes.
great. I'm really excited for this Chrissy Inc. debut record, and
Mm,
she deserves it. She really does.
she
I'm
does.
very blessed, and I'm very proud of her, and I appreciate her very much. And you know,
Mhm.
we support each other 110. So, you know,
That's so great.
same thing with
Well,
you, Karina. I mean, I got your back too, man. You've had mine for years. So, I mean, things have been going really well, and I know you're doing well over there. So,
mhm. Well, it's good.
so this is
Good.
really, really cool. Mm.
Yeah. Well, I think there's so much great stuff happening for you at the moment. I think, you know, you're in a solid relationship, you're getting married, you've got like 2 or 3 projects on the go, and that's all coming together, and you're enjoying, you know, the whole process. You've got some gigs lined up, and, you know, I think it's been wonderful chatting to you, and it's been so good to catch up and see what's been
Yeah.
going on in your life so far. And yeah, so great interview, and thank you so much for doing this as well. It's
Thank
been
you so much. I really appreciate it. I really
no,
appreciate it.
it's all good. Okay then, so I'll speak to you soon then, Dave.
Yes, you will. Like I said, if anybody needs to see anything, just send them for everything. Incognito Theory, Demon Christ. They
Mhm,
can go to the Instagram. If I need
mhm.
to get you the links, I'll send them to you.
Yeah.
Because the incognitotheory.com website is
Mhm.
under construction right now. So I'm
Okay.
having everybody go over to the Instagram for everything now, for all the projects.
Okay, that's fine then. Okay,
All right.
so
All right. So I'll send you the
send me
links.
some, yeah, send me the links and
I
I'll
will
put
send you the links.
fabulous.
All
All
right.
right, well, take
All right.
care.
All right, sweetheart. Thank you so much. I appreciate everything.
No
Bye.
problem. Bye bye.